built me an at-home gym.
So when I bought my house, one of the main reasons was because it came with a guest house.
And here goes the internet beige brigade embarrassing the biracials once again. And at this point, it's honestly just rage bait and because they know it's going to get views. When Jaden Noble initially posted that he had bought a home with a slave quarters that was still on the property and called it a guest house, that video got millions of views, making him I don't know how many dollars, anywhere from like 10 to 15,000. And Monet, being who she is, found the opportunity to do the same thing. And everyone keeps pointing out that both of them have a black parent. Both of them also have a non-black parent that they are extremely...
Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. So today we're gonna be talking about the whole situation going on with Jalen and Mcmichaels. So we all know past year that people we have to agree to disagree that people don't like Monet and her boyfriend together, which I don't know why, but that's what we're gonna talk about in today's video. But before we go, if you haven't subscribed to the channel, make sure you're clicking that subscribe button. Make sure your post notifications are also turned on so that you don't miss any time that I upload. Without further ado, let's just get into the video. A little bit disclaimer: all these things are alleged, okay? These are the things that I've seen online that I want us to talk about and, you know, share my opinion on it. So with that being said, let's just get into the video. Now, a couple of years, I think about a year ago, Jalen posted a house tour, and then in the house tour there was a particular set of, you know, building that people, he said it was a guest house, and quickly the people in the comment section was like, that's a slave you know, land, that's a slave quarters, that's a plantation and everything. And as a black American person living in the US, you will want to know that people think of these things like a lot, because slavery is something that it's quite not that long ago, and if you are from a background of being a black American, it's something that is touchy and people still talk about up to today, and people want everybody to talk about. So as Jalen being a mixed race person living on a plantation allegedly, or a slave quarters, it didn't sit well with people. People were like, yeah, this is all the things that the rage baits, you know, biracial people talk about, and clearly biracial children are low-key racist and they hate their black side. That's the whole thing that was going around. So after Jalen posted that video, it got millions of views, like this creator said before. It got millions of views, and people didn't like it. People didn't like it at all. And in my opinion, for the first, I would say that if it is a slave plantation, I would rather let a black person have it than a white person having it, because this is a land that your ancestors have suffered on. Your ancestors have been beaten, killed allegedly, and all these things have happened to them. So if the land is vacant and people are somebody is selling the land, I'd rather let a black person own it, you know, in order to maybe do something good with it, bring something good out of the words that have happened there. That's my opinion in the first place. I just want to clear that one off. But people have other opinions, and everybody have their own opinion. Everybody is entitled to whatever that they are entitled to, or whatever their opinion is, right? But I think the reason why a lot of this debacle is going on is because Jalen and Michael both are biracial, which means they have half white, half black. And most of the time, these biracial content creators, popular content creators, they don't really tend to go to their black side of the family. We only see their white side, and they are predominantly, you know, living in their whiteness and whatnot, because of the advantages that come with being that person. Because if a pure black person is there and a biracial person is there, it's high probability that the person of a biracial is gonna get the chances than this pure black person. It's something that is there. We're not gonna, you know, talk about that much, but it's something that is there. So these content creators tend to go more in their biracial sense, you know, the light skin situation and everything. And another thing again is that people don't like Jalen in a sense that they think Monet should break up with their boyfriend. And I don't know why people don't like Jalen. Maybe because he's older than Monet. People think he is grooming Monet. I don't know. Monet is a smart woman. She makes decisions. She's a very, very smart, beautiful, intelligent woman. So I don't really think it's our opinion to say who she should be with and who she shouldn't be with. So another thing people don't also like about Jalen is the 50-50 situation that happened in the podcast a year ago when Monet was launching her perfume, and then she went to make that comment about this whole 50-50 situation. People thought that she was taking the attention away from Monet to himself when he knew that Monet was launching that perfume. So these things have been building on, several times now, and now back to Monet posting this whole gym thing. So Monet posted that my man built me a gym for the slave quarters, and people are like, yeah, this is what this all these things about. Why will you live on a slave plantation? Why will you live on this? Why will you live on that? Right? So this is the whole thing that is going around, and I want us to quickly go ahead and check out some of the videos, and I will come back and talk more on my opinion with these people situation that they talk about.
Everyone keeps pointing out that both of them have a black parent. Both of them also have a non-black parent that they are extremely close to. And it's like, I'm not going to say all biracial people are like that, because I'm not like that. But are most of them? Yes. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. It's embarrassing as hell. But once again, it's rage bait. I haven't seen Monet on my timeline in literally probably a solid year. I think it's been a solid year. I forgot she existed until her man posted the damn slave quarters. Mind you, I had never seen any of his content or him until he posted said slave quarters.
On plantation land. However, I think the residence has been there since the 1800s and it's in Texas, so there's a strong possibility. Assuming that the rumors are true, people feel like Monet and Jalen are not honoring and respecting the property. Because why would you renovate a slave quarters into a guest house and treat it like it's an episode of Cribs or like you're on HGTV? Jalen has joked about the potential horrific origin of the guest house, and a lot of people were turned off by this. Based off of what they said online, I think there's only so much they know about the true origin.
Will it be sad to say that they intentionally bought the house? I don't think so. But them buying the house, I think in a way they knew it was gonna create more revenue, it's gonna create more attention with this whole situation of that. Because I don't think Jalen or whatever, the guy made a post about the slave quarters the first time around, right? I don't think he did. I didn't see any video of him that he did, right? But then this time around, he did make a content about the whole situation, clarifying it. We'll get into that in a bit. But this whole thing is that it's a rage bait. And this also go with another story I want to do next, is this whole Christian BBL that Sophia did a couple of months ago, year ago. And then Sophia said that she's a YouTuber, and what sells on YouTube is clickbait. And I agree. I post videos too. When you post something that in your back of your head, it's gonna make people talk about, that's what you're gonna do, because you need that attention, you need the views. And as much as people don't want to admit it, the views pays. When you get more views, it pay. And Jalen and Monet get views, so the views are gonna come in. So I would say, in a sense, yeah, they did have intention behind, you know, bringing more attention to them. I will not take that away from them, because it's a business. When you're in social media, you need to think of the business side also. Now, morally, they will have to think that, would this affect my brand? Would this affect the things that I want to, you know, portray towards people, the way I want people to see me, being racist and all things? Because trust me, people have even said the N word and then their career just vanished. So to talk of you morally going in and knowingly buying a house that had slave quarters or plantation is something that you have to be naive to, you know, buy. So in some other hand, I also say that they didn't really do that intentionally, or they didn't literally go buy the house that, yeah, I'm buying the house because they have slave quarters in it. But they didn't know that it was going to generate more publicity for them. Yes, they knew. Like, I'm not going to sugarcoat it. They knew, because everybody know that once you talk about slave, talk about the negative things, it's going to attract more attention. The reason why this is such a big deal right now is that the person that brought the story up first is Michael, who is also a Yap Nation on TikTok, and people don't like her. So even if she is making sense, people still don't like her, and her takes, especially on certain things, people don't like her. So anything literally that comes out of Michael's mouth, it pisses people off. And I'm gonna tell you, people don't really like Jalen that much, but it's like, you know, when your enemy and your enemy collide, it's like, okay, who is the worst enemy, or who is the worst person I hate? And at this point, Michael is the worst person. So I think in some point, it's because the story first broke with Michael being the person to talk about it first, and you know, people don't like her take most of the time. So fast forward to this whole thing happening and everything. Not Jalen went ahead to post a video that let's just say he explained the whole situation, that he hired somebody to talk about the history and whatnot of the house, and he did a tour on the, you know, this guest house. So let's go and check out that video.
So I'm currently in my renovation era. I think it's been a lot of fun to renovate my current home gym, but now we're getting ready to renovate my guest house, and I want to take you with me. And I've started the interior decorating process that I want to show you, but I also want to talk about what I plan to do with my guest house and the history behind it. And for the history, I hired a genealogist and reached out to an architectural historian to tell me everything I need to know about this cabin. First, this was an early settler's cabin, which converted to a hunting lodge and now currently serves as my guest house. I also found out that someone with the last name Noble used to live here, which I thought was pretty cool. And with this house being built in 1850, I do want to acknowledge the fact that I feel an overwhelming sense of empowerment every time I see it. There are no ties to slavery on this property, but as a black man, I am able to own a house that 175 years ago we were not able to. And it sits in the middle of my courtyard, which has my gym and my main house in it, so I'm excited to kind of update this guest house to make it a little more presentable. And I think that starts with refreshing the porch. It needs some new wood to make it a little more modern. And this is the side of the guest house you'll see first, so I think adding some trellises with some star jasmines going up it will really soften it. And for the interior, this is the living room. The kitchen is still a work in progress. The stovetop doesn't currently work, but still got the espresso machine. And this is the loft, which I think feels like a bedroom. And I kind of feel like I'm playing real life Sims because I see a house.
So there you have it. He did, you know, explain and did clarify and said that the house or the cabin have no ties to plantation, no ties to slavery. And people are now coming back at Michael, like I said before, that everybody that made a whole situation fiasco about the thing that, yeah, they are being racist, and then they should apologize. The people that made those videos should apologize. I don't think anybody should apologize, because once you bring out a perspective, or you bring out something that will make people have a certain idea about you, everybody is entitled to their opinions. And do I agree that they should apologize? No, I don't. Nobody should apologize, because that was their opinion, and that's the thing that they want to talk about. So them themselves can decide whether they should apologize, they want to apologize or not. But I don't think it's by force for somebody to say that you should apologize. And now people are dragging all the creators, they're saying that everybody should apologize, everybody should apologize. Now that's where I always say that any take that you are taking, if you want to take it because you hate the person, let that be clear that you hate the person, so that when the time comes, you can stand on your 2 feet and say, yeah, I said it with my full chest, I said what I said, right? But me like this, I always stand in the middle, and I think that's why my page is what my page is. Because if you are intent to have more negative takes, your page tend to blow up, and that's not me. I want to just talk about the whole situation, bring it to you. You can form your own opinions yourself. That's why if you watch my videos, anytime that I end it, I tell you, give you the option that you can always leave your opinions and we can chat. Sometimes I will agree with some of the things that people said in the comment section, sometimes I will not, and that's why it is. So I don't really think people should apologize. But I saw a comment that I also want to address quickly, that, you know, Monet and Jalen is the same person, meaning that they are racist or something like that. I don't think so. But the whole Palestine thing that happened with Monet, you know, made a comment about it or something like that, you know, it kind of threw people off, and people is like getting not to know them, like them that much. And we've also seen it with this girl Anna Paul, with this whole alleged rape situation, where her brother, you know, allegedly raped somebody, and they are going around to bully the person and whatnot. So what I would say is that these whole people, I keep saying it all the time, these whole internet people are not your friends. They're not your role models. You're not supposed to put them up and, you know, whatnot. They are not like that. They are not people that you're supposed to be like, yeah, this is the whole thing. They are genuine. No, it's all about money and it's business. Would they have the moral sense to do something ethically and morally correct? Maybe. Maybe not. We will never know. So yeah, guys, that's all I have for you with this whole fiasco thing. Let me know your opinion in the comment section. Do you agree? Do you disagree? You can always keep your opinions respectful in the comment section. If you haven't subscribed to the channel already, make sure you're clicking that subscribe button. Make sure post notifications are turned on, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye.